I know. All right. This is the video a lot of you have been waiting for. So let's get into it, shall we? First off, I just want to make note that no money exchanged hands. I am not sponsored by Melco or monetized in any way, shape, or form. This is just my real world review on the EMT16X machines and what I think about them. I know a lot of you have been asking, and I was like, okay, I can try my best to answer these questions. However, I wanted to get kind of comfortable and familiar with them before I was like, hey, these are great, these are the worst, or any of my real world reviews. So I wanted to throw some hard jobs at them. And so I've been pushing them pretty hard. Overall, let me tell you a little bit of a backstory. So I started out in the screen printing and embroidery business in 2007. And back then we had this massive brother machine that had 6 heads on it, I believe, and they were all connected. They weren't individual machines like Melco's here. And one day that just quit. I mean, I was frustrated with it. Embroidery can be really frustrating. And finally we were just done. And we literally kicked it out the door and sold it for scrap. But we had all these jobs lined up and didn't know what we were gonna do with them. So we phoned a friend from another company who happened to have a Melco machine. I knew nothing about it or how to use it. So I went over to her house and said, hey, can you do these jobs for us while we're getting our stuff fixed? She said, better yet, why don't you just run the machine yourself and do them? And she did other stuff, and I was like, crazy? But it was actually quite fun. I think in a matter of hours, I figured out how to start producing an embroidery and manufacturing jobs pretty quickly, and that's what caught my attention. I was like, all right, this is what we're doing. We're gonna invest in Melco machines. I like the diversity of the machines, the fact that you can run 3 different things, or 3 of the same things in my case right now. They get the job done. I think for starters too, the buying process with Melco can be a little bit like going to a used car lot or a used salesman, where you see this great entry price and you're like, oh, that's such a good deal. And then the financing options and the shiny, like, you can make money. And you definitely will, but getting through that process can be frustrating, that whole back and forth, like, oh, let's get this financing, and this is gonna work for you and your business, and here's the price. And for the most part, when you get them, you have just about everything you do to start manufacturing some hats and shirts and stuff like that, but you are gonna have to get a hold of some other companies with different kind of clamps to do thicker Carhartt style jackets. The regular hoops like these will not hold those very well. They will pop out and you'll ruin an expensive jacket. These magnetic hoops are incredible. Like, this is new to me. I've never used these before, and they're sweet. They will hurt your fingers if you stick your finger in there. So far, I'm able to give a review with the fact that I still run and I love the Maya XT old school machine. That thing has been so good to me. The quality, it does tiny letters, it has actually less thread breaks. It's just a trooper. So I did not want to get rid of something that worked so well, no matter how old it is. It produces what I need it to. And Melco actually thought I was a little bit crazy for wanting to keep it and not just trade them all in and get it. But that Plus machine we had, I could not wait to get rid of that. If you haven't watched that video, I'm so glad that thing's out of my life. It was so frustrating, and the good news is, these ones have been better than that. So first off, some of the pros that I've noticed with them already is they're a little bit quieter. That's kind of good. Sometimes you just want to stick in a podcast or headphones, because after a while it just gets kind of annoying, and the clink, 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 clink sounds all the time. Another kind of cool feature is it's definitely quicker when changing colors. So when it goes from the next color to the next color to the next color, it's like, here, let me show you. So that was a major improvement. The versatility that you get with having individual machines versus all connected heads was just kind of good depending on the size of your shop. And if you're manufacturing big stuff, by all means get a big head or a couple big heads and run hundreds at a time. I'm able to actually produce with 3 heads, and the speed that these things can go, it can be quite difficult to keep up with them. So I'm hooping and they're done and they're waiting on me. And I actually had to slow them down to get that pace and tempo right, and that was actually quite nice. Just adding one more machine significantly increased our production time. I think where these things really shine is on flats and thick products. So like I love stitching on a Carhartt brand, and it's really thick, and you put those in there as long as you got them hooped good and well, they run good. Tight weaves on jackets such as this Glacier jacket, they look really good on that. I don't really like stitching on t-shirts. I would much rather screen print those. They're just thin, and if you have little intricate details, embroidery doesn't really hold up on that as well. Personally, I think screen printing looks way better. The thread break detection is significantly faster. So in example, my Plus machine would break thread, and then it would stop, and then you would start the machine, and you'd have a gap in your embroidery where you didn't back it up far enough, or it automatically backs up. What the machine should be doing is thread detection, stop, and then back up 10 to 20 steps, if not more. I think I have mine maxed out to back up as much as possible. So then it can cover up where it caught that thread break, and you can just hit go and start over. With my Plus machine, I had it backed up as far as I would go. The detection was always slow, and it would stop, and then I would forget to back it up, start it, come back and look at the job, and there's a big old gap in the middle of the embroidery, and it's essentially at that point garbage. I noticed on one of the very first hat jobs that I did that the column stitches looked to be kind of thicker than I liked, and I messed with it, adjust some of the settings in the software, pulled my columns down in the digitizing, and found out later just by slowing the machine down it was consistent and looked better. So I'm running them at like about 800 to 1,000, somewhere in there, depending on it. Usually hats you have to run slower, and they will automatically adjust based on the product and the type of stitch that it needs to speed up or slow down. So if you have it at max 2,000, let's just say, and it can't do that, it won't hit to that point until it gets to a straight run, or it'll just and you'll just power through it. I would rather it work slower and have better quality and get the quality that I want out the door, because my name's on this product and I'm using these machines, and what goes out the door I want to be at utmost highest standard that I can get, and that's how I found to do it, and it looked really, really good. One thing I've seen a lot of people talk about is the fact that with Melco machines, they have the control panel on the machine, but the computer system itself is not integrated into the machine. Some people say that that's a negative thing. I almost think it's a positive thing. So once you get the machines, you're like, oh, you can't run them without the digitizing software and the Melco operating system. So you'll have to get a external laptop. I just went on Newegg or Walmart.com, found a refurbished laptop, put in the software. It's not even anything that super expensive, maybe 400 bucks. I probably would spend more, and I think I will later. What's really kind of neat is if you get a touchscreen laptop, there's 2 versions. You have the Pro version of the Melco operating software, which has a lot of more adjustments you can do and more control, advanced setting they call it. But the kind of user interface is all touchscreen, really easy to use. You'll quickly catch on fast, and it's just nice to use that side to keep things kind of just going. However, if you have an issue, it's not very good for like getting things fixed if you need to change something. So you'll have to go, I go back and forth between the advanced setting and the other interface quite often. One thing I kind of wish is that Melco would call and check in with me and say, hey, how's it going? What do you think? I know I could do the phone rings both ways, but it would be kind of nice to know that they have your support and haven't just taken your money and forgot about you. But I'm pretty sure that you get a warranty for a little while, and that's good, so you can think around with them, use them, and if something happens, call, give them your serial number of your machine, and they'll get you fixed and hopefully back up and running soon. Have I been able to make money with the Melco machines? I'd say absolutely. They've increased our productivity by having 3, which takes a lot off my plate because I'm usually the one running these things. But I'm able to do it quicker. A dozen hats gets done pretty fast. And again, depending on the volume or size of your shop, you may need to go bigger or have more of these. But the fact that you're so versatile is probably the biggest benefit to using machines like this, is you can run jackets and run hats and you get stuff done. Get it done. That's what I like. The more I use them, the more comfortable I get with them. I do want to kind of get some better hat hoops that hold them more like the old school ones that I got that don't really work that well on the new machines because they're really tight and hard to get in there. It will hold them and it holds them tight, but I prefer the clamp system of the EMS Hoop Tech hoops and how they hold the hat in there a little bit better than what it comes with that regular hat hoop and the strap that goes across. I broke that strap several times. These things have taken a beating and they just hold up, but these do not come with it. I think there is an option when you buy, you can add on, because Melco's now selling the EMS Hoop Tech products, so you probably can add it in as an option. Say, hey, I want it with these hoops, but they're gonna cost you. They're not cheap. So, but I'm pretty confident you'll make your money back when you use stuff like this. Well, that's about what I got for you today, guys. Hopefully I answered some questions. If you do have more questions, please comment below. Thanks for subscribing and liking and talking embroidery with me today. And hopefully, if you're considering getting the Melco machines, I helped you out in some way, and smash that subscribe button and let's help each other out. If you get a machine, comment and let's talk shop and support each other and help each other out in this industry, because there's not a lot of embroidery content out there, and I've already had a few shops really help me significantly when I had some issues with my machine. I just posted it out on my Instagram account, and they came back with some really good tips and advice. So if you're not following me on Instagram, check out Parsons_designs, and there's some more kind of quick stuff that I do that's not on YouTube that I can get out a little bit faster, short. And if you guys or me or have any questions or comments and a little quick video that I can put up on that platform, I would absolutely do it. So it's just a little bit faster. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Better get something done.